welcome to the Book Fix podcast, where we fix lives one book at a time. I'm your host, Cheli.
And I'm your host, Yajaira, and we have a very special guest, the rain. So if you hear the rain, it's been hella raining, okay?
Where you're living at. I think outside where I'm at, it's just cold.
Oh yeah, it's been freezing over here. I hate it. I love it, but I hate it. My fingers get so... They get so, I don't know, tensed. I hate it. I just want to be warm.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I wish I was there. But I mean, if you think about it, it's been a whole year since we've seen each other.
Dude.
I haven't seen you since last year.
I haven't seen you since last year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I hope that we all make realistic resolutions, because I know that I don't want to make anything too unattainable, because I don't want to disappoint myself. So,
I try to keep it short too.
Yeah, because Cheli literally asked me the other day, like, what's your New Year's resolution? And honestly, I hadn't thought about it.
Well, we have towards the podcast, but before we talk about things like that, I wanted to ask you how your Goodreads wrap went.
Okay, so really quickly before we talk about our wraps, we just wanted to mention that I think it's going to be like a better decision for all of us to just leave Goodreads behind or use it alongside the Storygraph app, because Storygraph is Black owned and Goodreads is owned by Amazon. And like, how much money should we be giving Amazon? You know? So that is like one of... There. Thank you. So that is one of our goals as well. I mean, I already had Storygraph, but it's just like a habit that I really want to incorporate for the year. But for today, we're going to be talking our 2022 year in books that's in the Goodreads app. So for me, my original goal was about 50 books, I think, originally, or it might have been 30. I don't remember what the first one was, but then I moved it to 100 because I was so close to hitting it anyway, near like the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So I did end up hitting 100. Woo, confetti, confetti, confetti. I read 35,969 pages. The shortest book I read was 83 pages. Longest was 771 pages. My average book length was 359. And my average rating was 3.3. The first book that I reviewed, like with an actual comment, was The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. And what I wrote was, the first half of the book was good, but the second half ruined it for me. Ethan was too dense, in my opinion.
So you came for both of them, is what you're telling us.
Yeah, pretty much. No, not a good book. Not recommended by me anyway.
Well, mine, I had a similar goal to you. I had 50 at the beginning, and then I changed it to 100 at the end of the year. And I ended up reading 105 books. I literally read like to the last day. It was so stressful.
Your Happy New Year was like reading the last word of your last book. That was your countdown.
But I read a total of 29,306 pages. The shortest book I read was 30 pages, and the longest book I read was 671 pages, which shout out Hunting Adeline.
Shout out. I really thought it would have been like Den of Vipers.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I thought it was going to be, but I mean...
Because, you know, that book is just so insufferably long.
Yeah, and I guess we can't choose our favorites, but yeah. Den of Vipers didn't make it. It's fine. Shout out. My average book length in 2022 was 279 pages. And my average rating was a 3.3.
What? We're the same?
Yeah, dude.
Oh my
Great
God.
minds think alike.
Thanks.
My first review of the year was for this manga that I reread. It was based on one that I read before we met, so it was a while ago, and I reread it 2022. And I don't want to read the review because it's kind of embarrassing and extremely long.
You're gonna have to send it to me, or I'm gonna have to look for it, because you're making me way too curious.
It's not that deep, but I was crying when I read it.
Oh,
I cry over everything.
It's true. She does. I can confirm. But to be fair, so do I. It's okay.
But what is your new Goodreads goal, or your books for the year goal?
So I don't really want to stress myself out. And I don't want this to feel like a chore, you know? And so Cheli and I decided that we're going to try to film 8 episodes every month. So 8 books per month would be 96. So since that's so close to 100, I just put 100 because I feel like I will read a couple of personal reads, hopefully. So yeah, I think that's attainable.
That is attainable.
What about
I didn't
you?
wanna aim. I'm the same because we're reading a lot of books for the podcast, and I didn't want to aim too high, but I do read a lot of graphic novels and manga, so I did put 120.
Yeah, that's attainable, I think.
And it's funny because I guess you could say I was less aware of my reading goal until maybe November and December. But this year, I started off hella aware of my reading goal. So I'm over here like, okay, I need to make sure I read 10 books a month. I can't fall behind.
Yeah,
and I felt so weird that I hadn't read anything yesterday. So the book we're going to talk about today, I started it yesterday. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even mark it as complete. What am I?
Wait, you just started it? Yesterday?
No, I started it yesterday and I finished it. I want to say
like an hour
and a half ago. Yeah.
But me too, though. We literally just finished this book like an hour and a half ago. It's so crazy because normally we're ahead of the game, but because of your reading goal, and I was really sick, we just couldn't get started on this book any sooner.
But I do want to say it didn't feel like a chore. I don't want you to think it did.
What do you mean? Reading the book?
Yeah, reading the book. Because like you said, it might start feeling like a chore for us if we're reading a lot. I was good. I loved it.
Okay,
well,
great.
I loved wait, let me rework.
Anyway, wait. Okay, so hold on. You're getting ahead of yourself. So we're going to be reading The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen, which I don't know about you, but I had heard about this book all over Instagram. I didn't really see it that much on TikTok, but I did see it a lot on Instagram when people would recommend like enemies to lovers, fantasy, arranged marriage. So if any of those tropes are your vibe, we would recommend the book.
Yes. Did you want to start off with a summary?
Yeah. So I actually wrote a summary, but feel free to add anything that you would like. So the summary that we're going to give is going to be it's going to have less spoilers, but once we get through it, we are going to include spoilers. So if you would rather go read the book first, I would suggest you go do that first and then come back. So my summary is, in this fantasy world, Ithacania has the upper hand over other kingdoms because they are in control of the bridge, which is in charge of exports and imports of many different types of items and goods. Our main character, Laura, is from Maridrina, that has suffered from neglect from Ithacania, and to uphold a false peace treaty, Laura is forced to marry the king of Ithacania, which is King... How does she say it? No, it's not Aaron. It's Aaron?
What?
Yeah, it's not Aaron. Which is King Aaron. But what the king doesn't know is that she is trained to overthrow him in hopes for Maridrina to take over the Bridge Kingdom.
It's not Aaron?
No, it's Aaron.
My whole world is spinning.
It's Aaron. It's like RM, but RM.
Okay, I guess.
I feel like I just said the same thing twice. Sorry, I am a BTS army, okay? Leave me alone.
Stop.
RN. RN? Yeah. Well, that's how the audiobook said it, okay? And obviously what the audiobook says is law.
Well, that's not how my heart said it, so.
Anyway, let's get to us guessing how the other person would feel.
Wait, are we just like not gonna address that?
What?
I want to reiterate that I liked reading the book.
No,
No.
It's okay. She's over there
Walk
sweating.
out. I am sweating.
She's
cold as fuck and I'm sweating.
To anyone who is listening, Cheli is changing her rating as we speak because she's been caught in 4K.
I want to say, I'm not promoting drinking or anything, but I'm like 5 beers in. So
No, okay. TMTI.
No, but like, I mean, I don't want to justify what I slipped out.
No, no, please.
Okay, no. It's fine.
Anyway,
It's
I would
whatever.
also love a shot of tequila. I'm just saying, dude, it's been a minute. Okay, so now we're going to get to the part of the episode where we're going to guess what the other person would rate the story, because Cheli and I, we don't tell each other how we feel before, coming into these episodes. Normally, we don't slip up, but you know what? It's okay. As my good girl Hannah Montana once said, we all make mistakes. Oh, no, everybody makes mistakes. Whoa, am I drunk? Am I drunk?
Sorry, Hannah.
Sorry. I didn't mean to misquote you, Miss Montana.
Wow. You're making mistakes about quoting her saying we're making mistakes. I love it.
Anyway, so, do you want me to guess first, or do you want to guess first?
Yes, but can you guess what you thought before I slipped up?
No, I can't.
Why?
Because I just can't. It's too juicy. I have a feeling that you're going to give this book a high rating. But here's the thing. I don't know if you're going to give it the high rating, because I know that in the last episode, you said that you were going to be more strict. You were going to be a harsher judge this season. You are the Simon Cowell of this season.
Oh my God. Thank you, I guess.
of this season. By season, I mean year, okay? The year.
No, this season.
I'm going to guess that you would give it a 4.8.
Why?
I just think that, not just because of your slip up, but also maybe because you really vibed with Aaron, as you would say, although it's RN, but it's cool.
Aaron.
I just think that you really liked his character. I think you liked the fantasy world that was built. And yeah, that's just my guess. I don't know. Want me to write you a whole dissertation or what?
Yes, please turn it in by 5. Okay.
Oh, 5. It's almost 10.
Okay. My thoughts for you is, I'm also kind of on the fence with you thinking that this is a 5, because I do think that you liked it. But wait, hold on. I wrote it down. There's one thing that I think that gave you the ick.
Oh, the ick? Okay.
Yeah, I think it gave you the ick. And that's a word I learned last year. So
yeah, you did. I love that.
I think I'm using it correctly. I think it gave you the ick. And for that reason, I think the highest you would give it is a 4.
Okay. You know what's funny? I think the last time when you used it incorrectly.
Because I didn't know what it meant.
Are you going to tell me what you think gave me the ick? Or are you going to remember as we talk about it?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, tell me. I'm excited.
I think after the halfway point, I'm going to say after 80%, because 80%.
Right.
After that point, I think you had wanted the characters to be more honest with each other, and their dishonesty probably got to you. Specifically, Lara's dishonesty.
Okay. All right, so how do you want to start the app? Should we talk about Laura?
Yeah. Can we talk about... I feel like in order to know, or in order to understand how we feel about her, I think we do have to talk about her upbringing a little bit.
Yeah. She was raised pretty harshly by her father, King Silas? Cyrus? Yeah. No, Silas. And she was pretty much trained to be a warrior, and she has 11 sisters, so they were all confined. They didn't see their kingdom, they didn't see their world, they were kind of just hidden away from everything, and they were raised to be warriors because King Silas wanted to overthrow the king of Ithaconia, because he wanted to infiltrate, because the bridge it's very treacherous. So there's obviously ways that Ithaconia, goes through it and they allow certain people to go through it. So he just really wanted to have that upper hand because he told his daughters that Ithacania was basically ruled by a demon. And so to help his people, he would train his daughters. And the whole reason that they're doing it is because they have a treaty, like a peace treaty, that says that one of the daughters would have to marry the king, which is King RN.
Yes. So at the beginning of our story, we are introduced, like you said, to all of the sisters, and they're basically having dinner with King Silas, and he's like, okay, I'm going to give my final rose to one of you girls, and we'll see who makes it. But during this dinner, Lara is sitting around her sisters, and all of them just start dropping like flies. Like,
literally dropping dead.
Yeah, there's spoons flying around the room. Marilyn, one of the girls, falls face first into her sopa. Like,
in her soup.
Yeah, every bitch is freaking dying. And Lara basically is the only one, along with King Silas.
She's literally the last man standing. She's just looking at her dad, and her dad's like, what the fuck did you just do?
It's funny because her dad is so shocked, but she's over here, like, lifting her sister out of her soup and, like, putting her head... just neatly on the table. She's like
rearranging her. And so basically she did this because she wanted to save her sisters from having to, one of them being picked to marry King Aaron. But also because she knew that her father was going to kill whoever he didn't pick. So either way, one of them was going to end up living while the rest would die. Allegedly.
Yeah.
But
when you're reading this, though, at first it's supposed to show... or it's supposed to seem like Lara's heartless. Like she just poisoned all of her sisters. But yeah, she did just drug them with a drug that's supposed to just make them appear like they're dead. And then she gave them an out to escape and to find freedom in Maridrina. So.
Yeah, and it's really sad because there is the head of the arms, which is named Eric. And it's so sad because he pretty much like raised these girls. Laura saw him as the father figure. And when he realized what she had done, he like killed himself. It was so sad. And the dad was just like, yeah, he was a great guy. Anyway, pass the soup.
Oh my God. Dude, I was so shook when that happened.
The detail that I really liked was the fact that Eric would call her cockroach because Lara was not the best. Like she was not in the top of her class. She was not the best because they had different like sections of things that they would train for. And she would barely cling on. She barely made it. And so he would call her cockroach because of her resilience. And I just really love that like thing of her character. Obviously, I don't love the nickname, but I think that's a cool like descriptor of who she is as a person, that she just does not give up. And even the dad's like magpie, he was like, you know what? I underestimated you. You were not my first pick, but I should have known that the one that would win would be the one that had the most ruthlessness.
Yep. But she basically is now the only daughter and is going to go marry King. I want to say Aaron. How do you pronounce it again?
Aaron.
Oh, that's weird.
It's
but
not weird. Apologize to all of the RNs.
No, there's one Aaron, and it's this one. Everyone's Aaron. You would pronounce it Aaron. I said Aaron the whole time, and you know what? When I thought it was Aaron, I was literally gonna come on here and be like, "Hey guys, this is my apology video. Aaron's not that bad of a name," because I thought it fit, but apparently it's not.
You literally hate every guy's name that we talk about.
Anyway. Our main character, Lara, is taken to go get married at the wedding in Ithacania.
Mm-hmm.
And she walks up to that wedding, like, ready to fight a bitch. Like, she's walking in there like she's going to war.
And it's so funny because she's not really dressed for the weather, because right alongside the bridge is, like, the Tempest Sea. So it's like a treacherous sea. And so she's like low-key a little soaked. And so I think her dress was satin. Her satin dress
Silk,
is like,
right?
oh yeah, silk. Her silk dress is sticking to her. And so she just like, I don't know. I'm assuming she just looks like a freaking model. She's like standing here getting married to Aaron. Oh my God. Because it was called him Aaron.
Aaron. See? Okay.
Aaron.
This podcast is anti-RN. It's Aaron. Okay.
Who said that it was anti? I keep fucking up. Whatever. It's either RN or Aaron. Who cares? Go ahead. Okay. Continue.
Throughout the story, we get to see Laura as she is here trying to basically overthrow a kingdom. Yes.
Yeah.
And she's so good at it. Oh my
She's
gosh.
so
She is so smart.
She's so good at evading them too. Because there's a scene where she's with RN's grandma. And she like easily slips in like whatever tonic she wants to in their drinks to knock them out. And then she'll like slip out and she just like she just somehow found the team, like RN's team. And she's like watched them as they did like their secret passageway. And even because there was also moments where RN obviously didn't trust her. He obviously would blindfold her when they would go through the bridge or when they would go through like the sea so they wouldn't have to go through the bridge. She would still be like trying to pay attention to everything that was happening around her.
Yep. I think that she was a very strong female lead for a book. And I liked seeing her, I guess, her inner turmoil with like what side she really wanted to be with. Because I like that she didn't just all of a sudden be like, you know what? Fuck my dad. I'm going to be with this bitch.
I don't even know my
Come
father
over here,
like
Aaron, or whatever the fuck your name is. But I like that it was so hard for her. And I liked going through that journey with her of trying to decide what she thought was right and wrong.
Yeah, because it was
really realistically done.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say too, that it was very believable that she was raised confined because she didn't know anything of the world. And so obviously she's going to see King Aaron in a certain light because of what her father told her. And so I liked that it was believable that it took her a while to really open her heart to see that he wasn't so bad. And I also liked seeing the connections that she made with like his people and like his cousin and his sister and Jor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked seeing that. And then I also liked that when she did start to fall in love with Aaron, it wasn't like okay, I love him now, let me go leave my dad. It was more of a, damn, when he finds out, I'm just not worthy. She was still planning to fake her death and escape because she just felt so bad. Plus, if she failed her dad told her, like, I'm going to find you and kill you if you don't make this happen for me. So either way, like... Dad, but I love him, Dad.
I'm glad that we both like the main character.
No, I loved her. I thought she was so badass. I love that she had to restrain herself from from kicking everyone's ass pretty much because she didn't want to let anyone know that she could. So when she started killing people from, what was that place called? Armadia,
I think.
When she started killing people that were infiltrating the bridge, she had to do it in a way that was very discreet. And I love that scene where she saves King Aaron. And the way that she does it, she like hides a dagger in her, like against her chest. And she like pushes it into the other guy's sternum. And then he like falls on her. So it looks like he was the one who stabbed her. Like Aaron didn't know what the hell happened. He was like, wait, what? Like, cause she did it so discreetly.
But then when it was like looked at too, it was like, oh my gosh, she hit like the perfect spot.
Yeah.
So she knew what she was doing.
Does she know anatomy that well? Is she a doctor? Oh my God.
God, I'm married to a doctor? What the fuck?
Yeah. So I definitely loved her character. I thought she was badass. I thought her growth was like amazing. Or I guess her journey was amazing. So that even when she did start to realize that her father was actually the villain this whole time, or just like the bad guy, she was so angry at the deception and the manipulation that she was like, I'm going to kill him one day. I'm going to find a way to kill him myself because of the manipulation.
Moving on, we have our second main character, Aaron, King Aaron. Just to give like a bit of like a background to him, he is the king of Ithacania. He's replacing the past king, which was his dad, who had died in a boat accident a year prior. And everyone in Lara's life, like King Silas and everyone else, basically told her that King Aaron was just so much worse than the past king. Like, he's basically a demon and rules the world as if he's God. And even when they meet the Ithacanians for the wedding, they're all dressed with like a mask covering their face. And when you look at his mask, it's described as like he has like the snout of a lion. He has canines. He has horns like a bull. And it's just, he looks like a demon. So it's described that everyone kind of looks like that, and there's no human qualities to anyone. So when he is introduced, he's just like he's seen as someone who does not care and who seems bloodthirsty. But it's quickly, like so quick for you to realize like, oh wait, he's actually kind of a nice guy who just cares about his kingdom. Because he puts so much care into everything that he does. Like he's a king, but he's out there in the front line fighting in these skirmishes. And he has a sister who is supposed to be married off. Yeah, who's supposed to be married off too. But he's like, nope. No bitch is marrying my sister.
Because there's two treaties. And so since he upheld his side of the treaty, his sister's like, well, I need to also uphold my end. And he's like, no, you don't have to. Like, I'll figure out a way to bypass that, because he doesn't want his sister to pretty much have to go through this as well. Because also at this point, he doesn't trust Laura, especially in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, his heart is saying, she's a spy. Low key. I can tell in those eyes. She's seen some things.
Yeah, and even he, as a king, he's like, I've sent out spies. I know what this shit is like. Like, I know how they're supposed to act.
Yeah. Seducing him.
He is so kind-hearted. And I love him.
You're going to cry.
No, I'm not. No.
Wiping your tears.
I just think that...
What if we both started crying?
I'm not gonna cry.
Okay, I'm
You're
down
gonna cry. But I just think that his character development throughout the story, well, like, he remains the same throughout the entire story. But I think that seeing him go from this person who doesn't trust her to trusting her completely, that fucks me up.
Yeah. I really felt for him too, because he took it personally how easily, well, not easily, but the idea of someone taking over the bridge and pretty much ruining his people's lives, it really kept him up at night almost. Like, he really worried about his people because he loved them so much. He wanted to be a really good king. And I also love his relationship with Jor. I feel like they had a really nice relationship. And I loved that when Laura first saw how Jor spoke to his king and how he really just, he's more comfortable. He's not like, yes, your majesty, love that for you. He's more like, bitch, like, get it together. And so she really was surprised by that, because she was like, my father would never let anyone talk to him like that. So she was able to see Aaron's character with that relationship as well, because obviously Jor was like his right-hand man. So I loved his relationship with like his people as well as like his sister, and his grandma was cute too, I guess. She drove me crazy, but she was cute.
Yeah, he was such a smooth talker too. Just like his way of being with others is such a like
charismatic.
Yeah. Oh, and he's hella charming, and he knows it too.
Yeah, he does.
I fucking love that he knows it. Because there was this one point where Lara and him had to disguise themselves. And then it was like, don't you get it? You're going to be the cousin and I'm going to be your charming other cousin. Shut up. Oh my God.
Yeah, I thought he was hilarious. I loved their banter together, him and Laura. I thought it was really cute. And on the more like romantic side, he really, it's not that he loved her right away, but I think that everything changed for him the moment that he noticed that she was scarred, because he was like, who did this to you? Which, I don't know if anyone knows, but that's one of my favorite tropes. The who did this to you?
When that popped up,
slaps.
I wrote a note and I was like, dude, they fucking didn't. They pulled that card. Hell yeah. I live for that shit too.
No, but honestly, like, who did that to her? Well, we know, but he doesn't. So, I really loved that when he saw that on Laura, immediately he was like, that is never going to happen to you here. I will make sure that no one lays a hand on you. Because I think he knew how terrified she was because she was having a nightmare. And I don't know. I just really love his character and how caring he is, even though there was a huge possibility that she was a spy. He was still really nice to her and kind to her. And I also really appreciated that he didn't try, I guess, to force a relationship to happen. It kind of just happened naturally. And it was, I don't know if it was the same for you. Does this count as a slow burn? Because damn, I was like, you guys made out once.
Dude, it was so fucking slow.
Make out already? Damn.
Dude. And that's why I said it didn't take, I think it was up until 80% where they actually confessed.
Yeah, so, that took forever. But it was worth it, though. It was so worth it.
Something controversial. And we can cut this out if it's too controversial.
No, why would we?
Because it might garner hate.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about it then. Go.
Okay. Okay, I want to start off with one thing. The cover of the book is hella lacking. Like, when I saw the cover of the book after both of us were like, okay, let's start reading. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow, because we were on the phone. I, like, opened the book, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I went in with an open mind and an open heart, because I was like, don't judge a book by its cover, because to connect it, the last book I judged by its cover was Cruel Prince, because I thought I was going to fucking love that shit. But look at how that ended up.
You love that shit.
Connecting that. I think this story is very similar to Cruel Prince in the way that it has so much like of the world's politics that it's dealing with, but it has like a sprinkle of romance. Of course, there's more here than there was in Cruel Prince, but I think this is what Cruel Prince wanted. And I don't know if that's me just speaking fucking out of my ass.
Yeah.
But it felt so much better. Like, this is what I wanted out of Cruel Prince. There didn't have to be spice, but fuck, like, it was written so well that shit got me. And it makes me sad for other books. Like,
I don't know if I agree with that, because I didn't even think about the Cruel Prince, like, at all.
I did. Oh my, hello? A girl who's just walking in like, I'm gonna fuck a bitch up.
I feel like you just compare the Cruel Prince to a lot of books because you're so disappointed by that book.
I am very disappointed.
You always have it in the back of your mind.
Join us in the next episode where I compare Cruel Prince to the Holy Bible.
Oh my God. But yeah, no, I didn't think about the Cruel Prince at all. I didn't really see a comparison between the two.
I did, because they're both, in a sense, I guess, enemies to lovers. And I mean, we've read a few enemies to lovers. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, but I just thought this was done in a very organic way. So I appreciated that a lot. And it did hit you with those fucking those cliches, like the who did this to you. Oh, when they're staring at the sky and she's like, it's beautiful, and he's staring at her and he's like, it is.
He didn't say that.
No, but he thought it, because he was
I remember thinking like, oh my God, it's gonna be one of those moments, but it wasn't, because he was saying
but he thought that shit.
No, I thought that shit. I really liked I really liked his optimism, because there's a moment where he tells someone, I can't remember. I'm just looking at my highlighted things, where he says, I hope, well, he tells her actually. Let me, hold on. I'm going in circles. There's a moment where Aaron tells Laura, I hope our marriage will be the first step towards a future where my people's lives aren't tied to this ancient piece of stone. Because there were many moments in the book where he really felt like people cared way too much for the bridge and not enough for the people. Because he really tried to make it fair, like to do like the importing of goods between different kingdoms. He tried to be really fair in that sense. And what we learned through him when he realizes that Laura is a spy, we learned that King Silas was just being greedy. Like he would use up his resources, or he wouldn't really ask for food. He would ask for like weapons and steel. So he made it seem like, oh, King Aaron is holding back his end of the bargain. He's not giving us shit. When really his people were suffering because he was just being greedy. Like he just wanted to have control over the bridge and not really care for his people's well-being. But yeah, I just really loved Aryan's character, because even when he realizes that Laura has no idea what she's talking about, he's like, you know what? Let me go show you. Let's go over there so that you can see.
That hurt though. Like after she had already gotten it, he was like, no, bitch, we got to stay for more. You got to see more.
Yeah, we're not done yet. Mm-hmm.
I do want to say that I kind of like that his views and his parents' views kind of parallel the argument that he has with Lara, because the first time that they kiss, it's like such a big thing and like the feeling is so strong, but then he like pulls away and basically says, I need you to help me make this stop. I'm tired of fighting against the world when what I want is to fight to make Ithkanya part of it. And then she's just like, bitch, it's never gonna stop. And if you think that it is gonna stop, then you should just go fucking die. And
she said go drown yourself or something like that.
Yeah.
Which was so rude of her.
But she also says that, like, Ithakanya has everything that everyone wants, and no one's ever gonna stop, like, their quest on trying to take it. So this is just the Ithakanya you have to live with, and just live with it. And I think it's, like, cool because it kind of goes with, like, the argument that he brought up that his parents would constantly have, which was the fact that his mom would always be like, yeah, we can live with it, but living isn't being alive. And it made me sad.
Yeah, it made me sad too, because I thought it was interesting how he said that his parents rarely fought, because, you know, that means that he did grow up in a loving household. But that was the thing that they fought over the most, was like how cruel they would be to, you know, the people that would be infiltrating.
Yep.
But
how did you feel?
What the other thing that I liked about his character was that he wasn't like a pushover, because there was a scene where Laura first witnesses him having to kill, like, you know, people that are infiltrating the bridge. And she's like, no, like, you have to show them mercy. Well, she's just like playing a role here, you know. It's not serious. Well, it's kind of serious, but not serious. And he's just like, no, kill him. Like, because he cares so much about his people. He says, if I let them live, then I'm pretty much putting a death sentence on my people, because they got this far, they can get further next time.
And they don't talk for a while after that. And I like that when they do talk, and she's like, did you find pleasure in it? And he's like, well, not pleasure, but I was satisfied. Like, he doesn't go back on what he did.
Yeah, like he doesn't feel too much remorse, because I mean, he's gone through this for how long now? And I do like that moment also with Laura's character when she also realizes, oh yeah, we have to kill them, you know, because she's like, you can't show mercy in moments like these.
Yep.
Sorry, what were you gonna say?
The first, because I thought this story was gonna take a turn. The first moment that Lara basically revealed that she knew how to use weapons, which was when Aaron was running through the beach and there was a snake in front of him and hella snakes behind him. Yeah. And everyone was just like screaming like for him to run. And she grabbed a bow and arrow and shot the biggest snake like so well. I, for some reason, thought that was going to be when everything broke down. Because when that hit, I was like, oh my God, she fucked up. She fucked up.
Yeah, I thought so too, because he was shocked. He was like, oh my God, who taught you how to use a bow and arrow? And she was like, let's not talk about that.
And
Stop
there was so many. Shut up, Aaron. Okay. Sorry. But there were so many close calls beforehand with her revealing her true nature, I guess, that I'm so disappointed that they didn't catch on when that happened. You know, like they didn't, because she played it off as like, well, you guys never asked. And it's like, they were in a war. You would have brought it up if you were in a war.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. I feel like he always had an inkling, though. It wasn't until he took her to Vencia and she saw how badly his dad treated his people that seeing her expressions, that's when it hit him. When he was like, oh, I married a spy. See, I knew it, but I can see it now in her eyes. Because of, you know, the look of disappointment, of horror. Because I feel like her whole world just turned upside down and it was very obvious in her expressions. And he caught on that.
It makes me sad too, because when he realized it, it was like in his, not point of view, but in his side of the story. And it was like Lara was a spy. The woman that he had goddamn fallen in love with was a spy. And it made me so sad because even at the point where he was set to kill her, it didn't seem like he could do it.
None of the times where he felt like he should have killed her, he couldn't do it. He was in too deep.
He was.
But either way, he's a nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He would never kill his wife.
No, he wouldn't. He loves his wife. Love that.
Exactly.
But it made me so sad when they had left Vencia and they were on the boat to leave. And I think Lara made eye contact with basically the spy of her kingdom. I forget his name. Magpie?
The magpie? The Magpie?
Magpie?
I think it's Magpie. Or it can be Magpie. I'm not sure.
But it made me so sad because she turns to Aaron and she's just like, I can't let them take me. They'll make me talk.
Yeah, he says, don't let them take me because they'll make me squeal.
Yeah, and she tries to unalive herself, right?
Does she? Everything happened so fast in that moment. I don't remember.
Yeah, because he caught sight of her knife and was realizing her intentions and just said, put it away. I won't let them take you.
Oh, you know what I thought? I thought she was gonna fling it at him, but that makes more sense.
Yeah, because I think she would have rather unalived herself
than them make her talk, because they would have. So,
can I mention something? Before they went to Vencia, she was really mad at him at one point and basically was fuck this bitch and went into his room and used invisible ink to write basically how to infiltrate and destroy.
I don't think she was mad at him. Wasn't she just like, because she was swayed at that point. She was like, oh, everyone's so nice here. Oh my God, what am I doing? And then she was like, no. It doesn't matter that everyone is super sweet to me. Doesn't matter that I low-key like this guy. I have to be loyal to.
Oh, you're right.
What was her place?
I think she was
Maridina?
Yeah. I think she was just overwhelmed with how much she felt herself being swayed.
Exactly. So she was scared. And so what did she do, Cheli?
She basically got 26 pages, like blank pages, out of his desk and wrote strategies to infiltrate his kingdom without being caught. At
that rate, she had seen enough now of how they went through the bridge.
Oh, can I say something really quick just to kind of add to how deep she was into him? Of that one scene where they're looking at the stars together and he's basically just like hella winning her over. I had written before, like, oh my God, he is gonna win her over and it's gonna be such a big deal and everything. But then starting the new chapter, she was just like, yeah, he's everything, but he's also nothing because he's just a handsome man who happens to be too charming for his own good.
I
bitch.
remember that. I was like, damn. Because I think even he commented that she looked at him in a way that she had never done before. And so you think like, oh, sparks are flying now. And they kind of were. But I feel like she got so scared that she completely did a 180 and she was like, no. That's not happening. It's not a love story. This is a revenge story.
But it made me so sad because, just to like repeat, she had said that it was everything what he was saying, but it meant nothing to her because she wouldn't act upon it. But there was a point where when they were getting closer, he goes up to her because she's basically shaking. And he apologizes and says, I'm sorry that all you've seen since you've been here is violence. And she thinks it's funny because it's like all she's ever known was violence.
Yeah.
So then instead of saying it was everything and it was nothing, she says it was nothing and it was everything. So she kind of like flips it around. So it was like, yeah, it's nothing to me that I dealt with that violence, but it really did fuck me up. But it's just like the way that she's slowly changing her viewpoints, even if she doesn't realize that she's falling for him, it's like slowly happening. Oh,
it's like little sprinkles of it. And that's what I really appreciated. I really loved the pacing of everything. It was very realistic. And it hurt when she started writing that, you know, those directions to her dad on how to pretty much infiltrate, like you said. Because I was like, oh, you already know what's going to happen. Bitch, dude, and she's going to end up falling in love with him, and then he's going to write a letter, and then it's going to go to her dad, and then, oh my God, I was stressed.
It fucking sucks, too, because she had already been forgiven for being a spy.
Yeah, and he knew already. He confronted her about it, and she apologized. And they had a moment and everything. And then she just didn't want to tell him about, you know, the letters that she had written because in her head, she was like, okay, I'll just go to his bedroom and then I'll somehow burn the evidence and everything will be fine.
And she miscounted. Like she counted, there was actually 27 pages, but she counted 26 because he had actually sent a letter. And that letter was basically like, hey, if you try fucking with her, that's going to count as something that will start a war because you were messing with the wife of Ithacanya. So the queen. Fuck you, bitch. Yeah, the queen. Sorry.
Well, actually, he had already sent the letter before she destroyed the evidence. So he wrote a letter.
No, yeah, exactly.
Sent it because he didn't want to tell her what he pretty much, you know, because he threatened her dad. So he didn't want to tell her that. So when she got into his bedroom, she like destroyed the evidence, kind of. And so she thought she was in the clear. But really, he had already sent a letter, so it didn't even fucking matter that, you know. It
sucks, too, because there were 2 instances after that where she was specifically asked, like, did you have any correspondence with them? And she had 2 instances where she could have said something, and she didn't.
She was like, oh, well, I mean, honestly, I could have, but I didn't, I swear.
And you know what? I understand because she did want to be viewed as like someone that he can trust. And that is a very untrustworthy thing to reveal. But
I think she just felt like he would never forgive her. And she was scared of losing him because he had already told her, I will love you no matter what. No matter what, I will love you. And so because of that, she was like, I'll just destroy the evidence. Everything will be fine. And now she felt more worthy of his love because, you know, there would be nothing that she really sent because she didn't know about the letter.
You know what's one part that I thought would have given you the ick?
You just told me.
Thought, no, it wasn't that one. I thought, because for that one, I understand where she's coming from. But I thought what would have bothered you is the fact that she spared all of her sisters because they did talk about it beforehand. And
well, she told him that her sisters all died. And he was like, God damn, all 20 of them? But I understood why she didn't tell him, though. Because if her dad ever found out, then he would go find her sisters and kill them. So she did it out of love. Like, it wasn't like You know, it's that type of lie where it doesn't really affect you. You know, it affects someone else.
But they were trying to be honest.
I wouldn't tell him either. Excuse me? Those are my sisters. That's none of your business.
Really? I think that he was at least owed that.
No.
I feel like that's something.
No.
That's something. Okay. You don't have to reveal that you would like fight people and freaking nurse them back to health just to fight them again. I'm okay with just leaving that one in the past.
No, I feel like that's more important because that's pertaining to her character. That's her thing. The other thing would affect her sisters.
But it's also pertaining to her, the fact that she spared them. Like, I feel like that's actually kind of a win for her. Like, hey, I just kind of poisoned my sisters. But
well,
I mean, like, kill them. And it's like,
whatever.
Babe!
I feel like
it would have been more, like, it would have been nicer. And honestly, like, as soon as she didn't reveal that, and as soon as, like, the chapter... or we reached the chapter where things were a little off. Like Eli had the lamp off. It was too quiet. Mm-hmm, I knew that shit was just gonna fucking bite her ass.
Bite her in the ass. Yeah, no, same. I felt it when I saw that I was 2% into the story. I was like, oh shit, it's about to hit the fan right now. I just felt it in my bones. When it said, oh, hello, sister, I literally thought it was the brother. So when it was the sister, I was like, what the fuck, Mary Lynn? Your head was in the sopa, like, in the beginning of the story. So remember, all of the sisters were trained to be assassins, pretty much. And so her sister was so cunning that she was, like, an actress. Like, because Laura would describe her sister as being really nice, but she wasn't. She was a total bitch.
Yeah. It sucks because everything is revealed there. And everything looks so bad on Lara's part. Because it's like, oh, is this bitch lying to you? And Lara didn't know what to say. So she was like, Aaron, I love you. Like, I love you. But that's the first time
love you.
saying it.
I thought she had said it, but wasn't she like, weren't they like
she
asleep?
It. Yeah, he was asleep. So she never said it to him. So
she never actually said it while he was awake and conscious and sober. So yeah, that was the first time she told him, I love you, babe. And he was like, do you love me? Or are you just manipulating me right now?
Dude, which maybe she know what was the biggest heartbreak in this whole story?
The fact that Taryn died?
Yeah, and that she died off screen. Like, she didn't even die within like my realm. It was just like, oh, she's dead now. And it's like, fuck, the person who didn't even want to be a soldier died.
I know! Dude, you know what? If they would have shown her death, I would have been so fucking heartbroken. I mean, I'm still heartbroken. But, damn, like, it makes me so sad. Like, she didn't even want this. She had big dreams. And she got close to Laura, so that death really hit. It could have hit more, but it hit.
Yeah, it did. And it sucks too. Okay, you're going to have to explain the ending a little bit to me. Because I know that when it had reached that point, he was basically going to kill Lara, but couldn't. So told her, you need to get out of here or you will be killed.
He had told her before that if his people knew that she was a spy this whole time, she would have to be executed because it's treason. And so when he figured out when Marilyn pretty much told him how his sister was really, or what her whole plan was, she shows him the letter that she had sent out, or that he had sent out with the invisible ink. And she pretty much told him like, oh, this is the ink, you know, like if you spray this, then it'll reveal the whole fucking thing, blah, blah, blah. She told everyone how to infiltrate, whatever. And so Laura gains the upper hand and kills her sister. And Aaron is just like, oh no. Like you need to leave. Like I couldn't, like I loved you. Past tense, bitch. I loved you. I would have given everything for you. And he was crying. I was crying too, bitch. And he was just like, you need to get out of here. I never want to see you again. Leave. You know, if I see you again, then it's going down, bitch. You know, because he was like, I have to, I have to kill you. Like, I'm just saying. And she ends up leaving, but before she leaves, he like tells her, if you come back, I will kill you. So because she looks back, he like shoots an arrow at her. Or I think he does it as she's turning back. I'm not sure. But it does strike her, but like it kind of grazes her cheek. So she knows he's being serious. Like, well, she needs to get out of here. And so she leaves, and like some months pass, but she's like residing in like some little town. And
she's kind of a drunk, right?
Yeah. She's just been drinking away like her feelings. And she overhears someone say like, oh my God, King Silas, he just like fucking took Aaron captive, or he's hostage or whatever. And when she hears that, she's like, oh my God, my husband, my babe, I have to go save him, because obviously she knows like her dad the best. Like she knows how to infiltrate. She was taught how to infiltrate kingdoms. And so she knows that if anyone can get him out, it's going to be her. And so she leaves. And it's so sad because she's not the type who can survive the sea, but she has to make like a long ass boat ride to get to, I think it's Ithaca. It's one of the islands in Ithaca. And so she's like, okay, I gotta do this for him. And so she makes it, and then she goes to Anna, and she's like begging her, like, girl, let me in. I gotta tell you something. Yeah, hear me out, please. I promise there's no knives on me. I swear. And so obviously everyone is like hostile towards her because everyone knows that she was a spy. And it's really sad to see, I guess, their attitudes towards her in this moment. I mean, I get it, but it's like really sad to see how much it hurt everyone that she was gonna freaking ruin their lives.
Family with too. Like she was family to them. So it's so sad seeing how much they changed.
Yeah, and also Maridrina did overtake the Bridge Kingdom. So Maridrina is now like they're the ones in charge of the bridge, and Ithaca is pretty much like suffering, all thanks to this letter that she didn't mean to send. So she's over here offering her aid, right? She's like, if anyone can get him out, it's me, tag me in. And they're like, you.
I fucking love how this book ends though, because they're basically like, you turned on us. Why should we trust you? Mm-hmm. And she ends with a quote, and it's, you need me because I am the queen of Ithaca, and it's time my father was brought to his knees.
Oh, that's my God. Thing. That's such a good line. When I read that, I was like, yes, queen. You bring him to his knees, queen, for manipulating you, for lying to you. Also, she's going to go find her sisters because they're all trained for this. And she's going to, with the help of her sisters, I'm assuming, they're going to infiltrate wherever Aaron is at.
Does it mention him?
I keep calling him Aaron now. Thanks.
Thank you.
I mentioned what?
That she's going to go find her sisters?
Yeah, it was like on the last page. Oh. Well, she said that
Oh, yeah, you're right.
They owe her like a debt, so.
Mm-hmm. There were 10 other young women out there who owed her a life debt, which she fully intended to call due. I fucking love that.
Yeah, so a little reunion.
Little family reunion.
I know. So cute.
Let me poison you just like old times.
Oh my God, guys. But this time, for real. Who has the poison? Take a guess.
I hate it.
I really loved that not everyone was Team Laura, because I felt like that was really realistic. Anna was very much like, I don't trust this bitch. She never really liked her. She was like, there's something off about her. And even the grandma, which I forgot her name, but the grandma was also like, girl, I was a spy too one day. I can see it in your eyes. You're one of us. Yeah.
Dude, this story, like we both said at the beginning, we read both of us read the story in a day. I felt like I lived many lives today.
Same. And it was so funny because Cheli texted me like, bro, I'm really trying to remember the politics in this story. And I was like, yeah, I'm doing math equations over here. Like, serious, like there's so much that's happening. And it took me a second to figure out who was from where. I was like, okay, what even is Ithaca? Because it's like little islands. And that
Yeah.
whole thing is Ithaca. But they're also they were in charge of the Bridge Kingdom, which was like the whole bridge. So I was like, damn. And it was so sweet when Aren pretty much when he gives her that emerald and he like
'Cause
tells
her favorite
her,
color is green.
yeah, and when he tells her like the names of all of the islands, because like he's letting her in, he's like telling her the family secrets.
Dude.
I really felt for him. Did you feel like he was angry enough at the end? Was he angry enough?
It hurt me. It felt like he was angry at me. Hello?
I know. Me too. I was like, what did I do?
It hurt the fact that I know that he couldn't do it. You know? That fucks me up because it's just something he has to live with. And now that he's captive, now he's alone with his thoughts, and that's a scary place to be.
I know. I hope he's not like too hard on himself though. Because obviously, like, this all is kind of his fault. So, I mean,
I know.
you told her all your secrets.
He was so trusting.
I know. But you already know I freaking live for a good like betrayal. So when it actually happened, I was like, oh, fuck yes. I was like, damn, this stings, bitch. It was so good.
Oh my god.
Because I don't like when betrayals are revealed by the other person figuring it out. Most times, not all the time. Because I love that like dejection, that like feeling of heartbreak when you realize like, oh, this whole freaking time you were just playing me. I know, but it's so good. It's so juicy. I freaking love it.
Yeah, it was really good, dude. I thought, oh, well, do you have anything you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say that I appreciate that this wasn't a love triangle. I feel like we've done a lot of love triangles.
Oh, we didn't even mention the fact that we read this book is because we wanted to read arranged marriage and forced proximity books.
Yeah. This month is all about arranged marriages. We'll probably say it again in the beginning of the next episode, just to, you know, drill it in. But we're also going to try to do forbidden romance a little bit, like a little sprinkle of it. That way we have a little bit of a variety and we don't all get too bored of arranged marriage.
Oh, but yeah, I agree with you. I'm glad it wasn't a love triangle because I don't think my heart could have taken that.
Dude, me neither. I was like, oh, the romance is so good here. It's built so well.
Because anytime she got along with someone else, I was like, hold on. You're getting way too close for comfort. Like, you,
3 steps back, mister. Literally.
We can talk about our overall thoughts.
Okay, so I have been anticipating this read for a while now. I don't know if you remember, but I recommended this story like months ago because so many people that we follow on Instagram were saying, hey, this is a really good fantasy romance, really good enemies to lovers and all that. So I was really excited to read this story because of all of the, you know, love that it had. I really, really loved the story. I live for a good betrayal. Oh my god, those are I live for them. I love the pain. It feels so good. And I think that it was executed in a really good way. I think it was very realistic. I loved both of the main characters. I loved seeing their development more, mostly Laura because she developed a lot more. But even Aren, seeing how he would let like his defenses down for her, I really appreciated that. And I appreciated how much he loved his people. And my only thing is that I wish we would have seen more of like King Silas's motivations. I think he's just like a regular ass villain just to be a villain, you know, just to be greedy, which isn't a bad thing, but I just wish there would have been a little bit more development with him. But I feel like we'll probably see it more in the next book. What else? I really loved the romance. I thought they were so cute together. Damn. And you know, I don't really like, I love slow burns, but I don't love slow burns because I'm so impatient. But this one was such a good slow burn. Like, it was so good. Because they made out when he was, like, what did she do? She slipped like a sleeping thing for him, no? Because she was like rummaging through his room. So I don't even think he knows that actually happened. So a way to like get him to relax, they started making out, and it was like they didn't kiss again until near the end of the book. So I thought it was really cute, and contrary to popular belief, as in like Cheli, I would give this book a 5 out of 5.
Dude, oh my god, it's our first one.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. Well, it's not my, wait, is it my first read of this year? I think it is actually. Oh my god, whoa. This is
my first.
It's crazy because even while I was reading it, I was like, giggling, kicking my feet around. I was like, no. Like, this can't be a 5-star read already. Wait, stop. But quote me, ladies, and any gentleman that's listening, quote me, okay? This book, it's still gonna hit in December. I know it is. I know for a fact that in December I'm gonna be like, yep, that still hits.
I'm gonna send you a picture.
What?
First of all, I can't believe you gave this a 5 out of 5. I'm like shocked because we just started the year.
It literally has everything I love. Okay, first of all, it has the "who did this to you" trope. It has a revenge plot. It has the what is that? Oh my god, what is it? Enemies to lovers, but it's like kind of forbidden romance, but not really because it's arranged marriage. Mm-hmm. Did you send it to me?
No, not yet. I'll send it.
Oh, okay. It literally has everything I love, Cheli. Come on.
I know.
And the fantasy, the world was built so perfectly. Oh my god. I need to read the second book. I need to read the second book yesterday. Like, it's too late. I need to read it now.
Oh my gosh. Well, to jump into my overall thoughts, I was the same as Yajaira. When I was reading this book, I really wanted to like film my reaction to post TikToks. I took one picture because TikTok wasn't loading, and it's just a picture of me having a fucking breakdown.
Oh my god, at what point?
I think it was
I love this picture, by the way.
I think it was when they first kissed.
Oh, wait, like when he was or when he was sober.
No. When they kissed sober, and then they had that fight about what it means to live.
Bro, it was so good.
So I also felt very strongly about this book. Honestly, I went in with very low expectations.
Right.
Because I think we already talked about this, but I don't really seek fantasy. But
really?
Here I am. Yeah.
I feel like we've read so much fantasy.
Dude, I feel like we have too, like recently. So, this book was such a fucking pleasant surprise. Mm-hmm. And it hurt me with how much communication would have just solved the issue. Yeah. But I mean, they both had so much that they were defending, so I get why they acted the way they did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
One thing that I wish would have been brought up more was the fact that everyone in Ithacania wore masks, and it was supposed to kind of separate them from being human. And the one that he wore was like the demon-like mask. And then later in the story, she's basically like, oh, but they're more than masks now. They're people, they're friends, they're families, they have children. And I wish that the mask would have kept being brought up. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I wish that it wasn't just a one-time thing, because it really felt like after that first time, he just like never fucking wore it again, except for once in passing. Mm-hmm. But overall, I thought that our two main characters were so good. Like, I feel like either of them could have had like this book be in their perspective, and it would have been just as good. Like, both of their perspectives were hella valid. And
yeah, I really enjoyed both of their perspectives.
I'm a little conflicted because we have to film a podcast episode on Thursday, but I'm over here wanting to read the second and third book and the 3.5 book.
Exactly.
So I don't know what to do. When I hang up.
We have 7 books we have to read. Okay, we need to stay focused.
Okay, fine. This
I mean,
is like
unless you want
Shadow and
to,
Bone all over again.
unless you want to change our Thursday.
No, dude.
No.
Dude, we can't do that. Let's talk after the podcast. But we can't do that.
We'll discuss later. We'll discuss afterwards. Okay. One of these books has got to go.
That being said, I did want to be a harsh, like, rating wise.
Mm-hmm.
But
you want to be a critic. You want to be Simon Cowell. You go, girl.
I don't think I can be, because throughout this entire read, I was trying to think of what I would give it, but I think I am going to give it a 5 out of 5.
What? No, you're not. You're fucking lying. Later on, I'm gonna look at your Goodreads in like 5 months from now, and it's gonna be a 3.
She gave it a 1?
She gave this fucking bitch a 1? When it hit so good?
To everyone, in our last episode, I had mentioned that I had rated and reviewed everything too late. No, I'm going to rate and review as we read them. So this is going to stay a 5. I feel so strongly about this story right now. I can't imagine giving it anything less.
All right, we'll come back to all of these afterwards, and we'll see, okay? It's because, for those of you who didn't watch our last episode, it's because you had given 5s to a couple of different books on the podcast, but then you were like, JK, never mind.
Yeah. I mean, we're all flawed, you know?
I love this book so much. Like literally, this book was so good. I don't want to let it go.
Me neither, but we can't read the other ones until we finish our required readings.
We don't have required reading. This is not a class. They're not set on stone.
You're right.
Anyway, well, you know what? How about this? Depending on how the episode does, then we'll talk about it.
Okay, guys, you have 1 day.
No, you don't. You have until the end of the month, right?
No,
it has to be way before that. Actually, it has to be like a week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this does. But
we add an extra day. We add an extra day just for this.
Hi, everyone. We post Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays.
Only when we really love the book and want to talk about the sequel.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our podcast, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Amazon Music. Thank you so much. If you can leave a review and a rating of 5 stars, that would be amazing.
So sweet of you guys, because we really appreciate it. I feel like it keeps us going. It motivates us to just go through the trenches, go through all of these books together. We love hearing the feedback.
Does. Mm-hmm. And if you are listening and watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can comment, and subscribe. I know that these next few episodes are going to be audio based, so please bear with us as we're trying to just get through life right now.
Yeah.
At the end of our episodes, we roll a dice, and if that dice lands on an odd number, we read a negative review off of Goodreads, but if it lands on an even number, we read a positive review off of Goodreads. We only have a digital dice, so I'll just make the sound effect, and you can roll.
We got a 3.
That is a negative review. Oh my god, you already wrote a review for the book?
Yeah, I did. I was like, you know what? No takesy backsies.
This was written by Miss Naisways, and she gave it a 1 out of 5. DNF'd at 80%. Unpopular opinion. This was boring and was pretty much like every enemies to lovers book out there. Though the fact that they started as enemies never really was conveyed well. It wasn't 100% believable, and I just didn't feel it. I mean, the second they lay eyes on each other, they almost started drooling and pretty much never stop. The need to vomit was real. The story itself dragged, was predictable, and lacked depth. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you later.
On Thursday. Bye.
Bye.
So, are you opening up the second book? Or what?
I've already started reading it.
Oh my god. Cheli. Can you read it to me tonight as a bedtime story?
Okay. We're not going to sleep until we finish it.
Oh my god. Yeah. Right.